Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to get the thought bubble to spawn on any unwanted villagers so you can kick them out in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I really hope that you find this video helpful. So let's get started. Now I've already made videos on how to kick out villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons, as well as how to time travel in the game. So I will link both of those videos in the description below. Now, specifically, we're going to talk about how to get the thought bubble to spawn, because many of you know when a villager gets a thought bubble above their head, they might be asking to leave. This is a great way to get out any unwanted villagers on your island. So I'm going to show you how to get the thought bubble to spawn. But first, let me go ahead and explain that when you see a villager with a thought bubble above their head, that doesn't always necessarily mean that they want to leave the island. So you must talk to them first to see exactly what they want. Now you can see here Mary has a thought bubble above her head, but she actually doesn't want to leave, and she said she actually wanted to play a game. So now you can see why it's very important that you must talk to the villagers first to see what they actually want. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about how do we get the thought bubble to spawn above their head. Let me tell you this first. I am a serious time traveler now to get the things that I want in the game faster. Now, when I first started the game, I played without time traveling until I finished my entire island. Yes, that is crazy, but it is true. I wanted to finish my entire island, earning as I went, which took a long time, but that's what I wanted to play. You know, nice and slow. But now I time travel to get the things that I need. So, you don't have to time travel, but it will take a little bit longer if you do not. So let's go ahead and talk about how to get the thought bubble and what to do. So the very first step that I like to do is I like to travel to the beginning of the first of the month that we're in. Since today is June 21st, we have about 3 weeks in June, so that's ample enough time to be able to time travel to the first of the month. So I'm going to time travel here to June 1st, 2022, and I really like to pick 11 o'clock a.m. The reason why I pick 11 o'clock a.m. is because a lot of the villagers are out and about at that time. So if we were in the first week of June, I would go ahead and travel to May 1st instead of June 1st because I want a couple of weeks into the month before I go to the 1st. So when I got in here, you saw Mary had a thought bubble, but she didn't want to leave. I had to speak to her to find that out, and she wanted to play a game. So since I went ahead and played this game with Mary, I'm not going to find another villager with a thought bubble above their head because you have a few minutes before the game auto saves and the thought bubble kind of spawns in and then it spawns out. So since I played the game, as you can see, I'm not finding anyone else with a thought bubble. So I'm going to time travel again. But it's very important at this time to save and quit the game. Since the game has about a 15-day cooldown for the next thought bubble to generate, I'm going to travel to June 15th at 11 o'clock in the morning still. Now again, if you don't know how to time travel, I will have a video on that linked down in the description below. Now, Isabel is telling me here that I have a visitor at my campsite. So just because I have a visitor at my campsite doesn't mean I will not be able to get a thought bubble on the villager's head. It is still possible to get a thought bubble the same day a camper is at the campsite. So let me go ahead and run around real quick and show you that I found Francine. She has a thought bubble above her head, and yes, she does want to leave. Now, this is going to be very important. Whichever link you choose here will determine when your next thought bubble will pop up. If you choose the first one, it'll be a 15-day cooldown. If you choose the second one, she will pack up and leave. So if you want her to stay and you want to look for someone else, then you would just close the game. I'm going to go ahead and tell Francine to stay. I'm going to go forward 15 days after the cooldown. And again, I'm going to show you that after that 15 days, there will be another villager with a thought bubble above her head. And here we see Melba. Now again, talk to her to make sure. And yes, she does want to move. So I just wanted to show you again, after the 15-day cooldown, you will get another thought bubble. This time, I'm just going to go ahead and close the software and show you if you were talking to Melba and you wanted her to stay but you didn't want to go 15 more days and you were playing as normal, you're going to be fine. Everything will be okay. You'll see again when you reload the game that Melba still wants to leave. Just avoid her for the rest of the day and don't talk to her. So I'm just going to save the game here. Alright, so I'm going to take you to any random day of play. So I'm taking you to April 15th. Let's say you have no idea when the last person left or when the last thought bubble was on your island. So you can look at your day of play, run around and see. If you don't find anybody, it's okay. Just save and quit from there. This is why it's very important that I time travel to the first of the month next time I try to play, to look for a thought bubble. So I'm taking you to June 1st, and now I have a hair problem. So going back to June 1st, running around, and you will look and see for a villager with a thought bubble on their head. At that point, you should find a thought bubble above a villager. And here you see Cookie. She has a thought bubble, and I talked to her, and she does want to leave. So I'm going to go ahead and save and quit this game and time travel 15 more days ahead of schedule again to show you once more that 15 days after the cooldown from starting fresh, you will find another villager with a thought bubble above their head. Again, you see Lily with a thought bubble. I talked to her. Yes, she wants to leave. I'm telling her to stay, and then I'm just going to save and quit. Now let's time travel 15 days ahead after the cooldown and look for our new villager. And here is Judy. But this time I'm going to do something different and show you. I'm going to ignore her for now. I'm going to go about my business. Oh, look, Faith is at the campsite. Now I'm going to go ahead and check on her later on, and look, now Judy's thought bubble has gone from her head and she no longer wants to leave. So we time travel again. So now I'm going to take you to March 1st and run around again and show you the villager with the thought bubble. Here is Poppy, but this time when she has to leave, I'm just going to close the game instead of telling her to stay. Then I'm going to go ahead and time travel one more day because I want to show you how to transfer the thought bubble from one villager to the next. I time travel to the very next day on the 2nd, and I'm going to run around and look for the villager with the thought bubble above their head, and you can now see that it has transferred to Shep. And here he is, wanting to leave because I did talk to him. So I'm just going to quit and go to the very next day to show you again that the thought bubble will transfer to a new villager. And here is Poppy with her bubble. Again, I talked to her, and yes, she wants to leave. Okay, so I don't want Poppy to leave, so I'm just going to close the game, time travel to the very next day so I can transfer the thought bubble. And here it is on Cookie. Now, I don't want Cookie to leave, but she's like the 4th villager that I asked to transfer the bubble. So I'm just going to start fresh and time travel to February 1st and go ahead and run around and look for the thought bubble on this day to see if I can find a villager. And here you see Francine with a thought bubble above her head. And again, she wants to leave. So I'm going to save and quit because I told her to stay. So now let's go ahead and jump 4 months ahead of schedule. Let's go back to June 1st and look for the thought bubble. And here is Cookie with the thought bubble. She wants to leave, but I want her to stay. So I'm just going to tell her to stay. But this is how you do it, guys. And I hope that you found this helpful. Weeds could sure be a problem though, but I have an idea. Head on over to the airport, go down to Harv's Island and talk to Leaf. He has a weeding service and he can de-weed your island for you. He told me I didn't have enough weeds. I'm wondering, who are the villagers you're wanting to kick off from your island? Leave that in the comments below. And if you have any other questions, leave that in the comments as well. Okay guys, I really hope that you found this video helpful on how to get the thought bubble to spawn to kick out villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys!